Lord of the Tanks, and the Fellowship of the Degenerates. Unless you're living in under a giant rock under the sea, then you would know that this video is about a role-playing game that's eating my life away as I edit these fucking videos like an underpaid Chinese laborer. Fun fact is that I am actually half Chinese, you sick racist pig. I work in a fucking factory in the Philippines in the day, thanks President Duterte. Unless someone frees me from my bondage and pays me some pesos, then I may consider doing this consistently, but fuck my wrist, it is almost dead from masturbating, I mean editing this video. There are docile demons lurking about, but how docile they remains unknown once the presence of dickbags arrive at range of the senses. The tank may be moving, but the warp gives no fucks to physics and decided that a bunch of pink horrors bored the top hull and were softly and seductively caressing the tank and warping its surface. The sexual predators attack Sergeant Jake, but what they didn't know is that Sergeant Jake loves guns and blows one up into a pile of black, pinkish goo that only Hot Topic would try to sell. The Baneblade turns red hot as the horrors attack the hull surface, and inside the tank it is starting to look like an Italian restaurant with an earthen oven. Craig steps out of the tank turret and launches himself to slash on one of the disciples of Bill Cosby, and he dramatically fucking failed and awkwardly jumps in the path of the flames, taking all the hits like a champ, but horribly dies because that was a flamer template of 8th edition, Warhammer 40k. Siegfried dismisses the wailing of Craig and scoffs him even for complaining, just as fucking planned. All horrors aiming at Craig blew up in flames as his fart just fucking winded the fiery shit at them. What God-assisted Craig must have lost it. The 4 other horrors leapt off the tank as they saw how the others were sent to super hell, and flipped Craig and threw a flame at him for killing the friends. Then Ancient FUS, the Dreadnought hanging like a strap-on dildo, clumsily reaches out and manages to grab one of the horrors. What would he ever do to a poor thing? The Dreadnought screams at its face like a senior citizen that's lecturing a young infant of the ways of the Imperium. Then the damn thing retaliates from its bonds by puking fire from its mouth to the Dreadnought's face. We don't need to remind you that this Dreadnought is a Leviathan Dreadnought, and therefore the flames did nothing but irritate the senior citizen and rightfully crushing the horror into a burrito that was squeezed too tightly and its chicken and beans came spewing out. The motion tracker indicates the whole place is fucking riddled with demons, some just too far still in at the edge of the scanner display inside Mr. Glubs, and some small demon-like birds are pecking at the lights of the tank. Mr. Glubs honks at them to shoo them away. The Dreadnought did try to get a hold of them and killed some, but all he got after the fact was nasty, reeking bird shit on his armored body and face. The thing with this senile Dreadnought is that he tried to wipe those shit off his face. He ended up smearing the droppings into himself like lathering lotion to his metallic skin, moisturizing the metallic surface of his seductively metal body. A house was spotted up a hill, and the whole party thought that it would be a great idea to fucking ram the thing up the hill with a Baneblade, as it is only a puny house, and that anything that suspiciously appears to be innocent in the warp had got to be a trap. Turns out the whole thing is made of adamantium, and the Baneblade's ego was savagely destroyed with a bent barrel of its turret. If there are dick jokes to be had, then this is the closest it'll ever get, you pervert. The superhumans and filthy Xenos then ransacked the whole house for supplies, but while they are busy harassing and pillaging the innocent house, they are attacked by the social justice warriors for robbing demons of their lives by killing them along the way there. One was even a big cook demon and had a big fucking gun that it singles him out as the primary target of everyone in the party. Everyone did the part, and on the part of Sergeant Jake, the lunatic he always was, jumped in the largest fucking demon he could ever dare to face, embraced its face with all his extremities and asked if it comes there often. He then proceeds to punch it in the eyes, and the demon obviously doesn't like that. He wanted roses first before the beatings. But while that's happening, the Space Goat managed to climb out of his parents' basement and started flinging his warp droppings on all demons in the vicinity. Craig got wind of an injured party member and decided that his fart had healing factor and started furiously farting on everyone's faces and invading personal spaces because he thought it would help. He was right, but it was help no one appreciates because fuck Craig. While all that is being witnessed by innocent children, Epistolary Mitch decided to shoot a psychic attack on the largest motherfucker around and blast him out of existence. Turns out he did too well and summoned the entirety of his racial angst against demons that in this attack he obliterated both Sergeant Jake and the demon into oblivion, leaving nothing of the two but black ash on the cursed warp soil. Epistolary Mitch then reacts by crying out like a pansy millennial bitch, witnessing the horror of his ways and that being a bigoted racist does not solve world problems and only adds to the fire. With the ruinous powers of the Grey Skull, apothecary Proteus known as fucking Craig had shed a tear like a Disney princess and it magically healed the ashen remains of Sergeant Jake into a full-bodied, autistically screaming Astartes. But that's not all if you call within the next few minutes, because the custodian had a bright idea of shoving Craig into the cannon of the Baneblade and firing the fucker as a challenge into the horde of demons in a majestic display of special effects that only Disney can afford. Craig disintegrates upon impact on the ground and nearly kills all the demons using his body parts and armor as shrapnel, leaving only his helmeted head to roll on the ground to regenerate. The rest were killed by Hans as he fires the guns of Mr. Gloves and kills a load of them warp fuckers, and cleaning them up was a breeze from the Leviathan Dreadnought by giving them all a good fisting in the ass with his melter array. The fight was over. Just like that, the SJWs were wiped out save for one demon who was taken for interrogation, but sadly, the demon didn't last with the bigotry these folks are spewing, and the final nail in the coffin was the custodian Siegfried asking the most important question of them all. How do you like your steak?